What is a motivated seller? Someone that just wants out, will take less than what they owe. In a distressed situation, whether they're having financial difficulty, whether they can't manage a property, whether they have bad tenants, they're in a distressed situation. Agrees to your terms. A lot of times we get deals under contract and we let the person know, look, we're going to market your deal to another investor and make a profit up front, depending on their situation. Also, in the terms, you're going to pay all of the closing costs. We get our sellers to sometimes pay all of the closing costs, all of the taxes and recordation. Recordation and taxes, stamps and recordation. Bill, up in Milwaukee, great example of a motivated seller. Stimulate the economy, buy my house. That's a motivated seller. He's out on the interstate with a sign. Milwaukee is a cold place. That's what I heard. He has mittens on. He has the traffic vest on so everybody can see him. And he's out there trying to sell his house. That's a great example of someone I would actually try to buy his house. That's a motivated seller. And motivated sellers fall into people that will take less than what they owe, and someone that just wants out. In this market, you can literally walk out this door today and trip over folks, trip over other investors. Yes, investors, because there's a lot of investors that are motivated. There's a lot of investors that got hurt when the market crashed, that didn't have that education or that knowledge to, diversify. So a lot of people are actually out of the business. And this is the best time to get that education and to buy properties. There's no competition right now. The speculation is gone. From everybody from the pizza delivery man to your local mail carrier was rehabbing houses in 2007, 2006. Right now, only the real dealers, the real investors are out buying. Signs of motivation. This is a property we wholesaled on Drew Hill Avenue. Burnt out house. Next to a house that was occupied. This investor was in PG County. Now, going back to out-of-state owners, also out-of-town owners. If you have an investor that has a property in Baltimore City or Baltimore County and they live in Silver Spring, they don't want to make the commute. This investor's house burnt up. We actually got this house for pennies on the dollar. So don't shy away from burnt out properties. They can make great deals. Wow. Wouldn't you agree this kind of looks similar to that picture I had earlier? It's a story behind this deal. This is in East Baltimore from Moravia Road, right not far from here, 4516 Minnesota Avenue. This is a deal we picked up, again, pennies on the dollar. Actually, a bird dog brought this deal to us. Our contractor actually drove past this property, took the address down, and we did our due diligence. This property had been vacant for quite a long time. It's leaning a little bit. Wow. We actually found a skeleton in this house. It made the newspaper in 2007. It made the newspaper. There was a skeleton in the property. This property had been vacant since 1970. Wow. I walked into the property. The trash was this high, going through the kitchen. We actually ended up renovating this house and selling it. It's a beautiful house now. If you drive past it, it looks totally different.
Is that the one you did the auction on?
Yes, we sold the house.
Beautiful house.
Yes, he asked, is that the one we did the auction on? Again, a lot of investors got in when the market was hot, did not have that education, and weren't able to diversify out of those properties and use other strategies. We came up with a strategy of how to sell your house in 5 to 7 days. And we actually sold this house in November of last year. The market, if you were watching the news then, the market had totally collapsed. We actually sold that house for $238,000 in just 5 days through our 5-day marketing system. And that's through education. This is the same house we tried to wholesale. sign of motivation. Dilapidated, empty house. I want you guys to look at this because in every neighborhood, whether it's Guilford, Roland Park, Hampden, these are like prestigious neighborhoods in Baltimore, Maryland. Any neighborhood, anywhere, has some vacant properties. So don't prejudge a neighborhood because the properties are going for $400,000. Please don't do that. Don't prejudge. You can't prejudge in business, period. The buyer who you think is going to buy your property isn't going to buy your property. The buyer who you think isn't going to buy your property is probably the person that's going to buy your property. So if someone is dressed in a sweatsuit to someone's dressed in a suit, you cannot prejudge anyone or any property in this business. Definition of a deal. But before we get into that, I want to take just a 5-minute, not even 2-3-minute break. I want everybody here to network with everybody, stand up and network with everybody in here just for 2 to 3 minutes. Pass out your business cards.